Hi Stampers, my name is Sandy Hancock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I want to welcome you to Utterly Awesome Stamping. Today I want to show you a card that I made with the Celebrate Sunflowers set. Particularly I'm going to focus on how to add color to an already embossed background. It's easy, it's quick. I'll show you the difference. Here's a background that was embossed without the extra color. So it's kind of like here's the plain, here's the peanut. So it's easy. Let me reposition the camera and we will get started. Let's see. Is that good? I think so. Alrighty then. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just show you the sandwich for embossing. Now this goes with the new Stampin' Up! Cut and Die machine. Stampin' Cut, it's hard to get used to saying this. The Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so this is the base platform and on it are the instructions for how to do all the different sandwiches. Now, it says using with 3D embossing folder, which is exactly what we're doing today. However, the instructions are, there's a mistake, so I want to have you correct it. So first, the bottom is going to be this base plate, this big and heavy, well it's not heavy, but big and thick. Okay, then you're going to put the embossing folder with your cardstock in it. Make sure that the hinged side or the folded side or the whatever you want to call that is going to go through the big shot first. Now it says to put on plate 4. You'll see that the plates are numbered up here in the corner. However, when I try to put that through my Stampin' Cut machine, it wouldn't go because it's not the right plate. So then I tried plate number 3 and it went right through. So what I need you to do is take a black marker and just like a Sharpie and draw through the 3 and draw through the 4 and put a 3 right beside it. That's the very last one. And then you have it exactly right. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to take an extra piece of cardstock, paper, so that I don't get messy on the big sheet. I'm going to take my piece of embossed crumb cake, and all I'm going to do is just pull this down until I'm happy. I think I'll add a little bit more. So you can pull it across there as many times as you want to. But I think that's good. All right, so now I'm going to add a greeting. Let me show you the set that we're using. This is Celebrate Sunflowers. So it's got the big sunflower and the little sunflower, and then Let's Celebrate You, which is what we're using today. Thanks a bunch, know that you are loved, and a congratulations stamp. So it's a great set to use. It's very versatile. And I am going to add the greeting in Early Espresso, even though I'm not using Early Espresso cardstock. I just wanted a little bit of a contrast between the cardstock and the ink. So Early Espresso will do the job. Okay, great. So let's celebrate you. Love it when it's straight. And then I'm going to add the embossed cardstock to the soft suede. I'm putting a little bit more adhesive around here than I might normally do with this size of a piece of cardstock instead of my dot dot not a lot in the corners, because when the cardstock is embossed sometimes it takes a little bit more to have it sticking nicely. Okay, now I can go back to a little bit less. And this is soft suede. I have the measurements here for you. So the soft suede is 3 3/4 by 4 3/8. And you might be able to measure yours so that you don't have the 1/8 inch if that kind of bothers you and you don't like to work with 1/8 inches. But that's what I ended up needing because of the size of my greeting. I wanted a little bit of space above and below, and then of course I wanted a little bit of space here. So that's just what it ended up being. Okay, now let's stamp a sunflower. I'm going to use the Stamparatus, and I love this. This is like gold to a stamper. So let's just put the magnets down. I've got my black pad, and then I'll show you the beauty of how this works. Okay, so I'm going to press firmly, and then I think, I would like this a little bit darker, so I'm just going to ink it up again and stamp it again right over the first image. Perfect, love it. Okay, now I want to show you a little trick for how to line up the cutting die with the sunflower. Okay, so the sunflower dies come in the bundle, and you'll definitely want to get the bundle on this. Okay, if you can see, there's a little place where the petal comes kind of up and out. So I took my marker and I put a black dot on that. I don't know if you can see it or not. And so then what I'm going to do is on my sunflower, I'm going to look for that same place that has, that kind of kicks up. Here it is, right? Wait, whoa, is it here? There it is, okay. Because if you don't do this, you're just going to end up turning this around and around and around and around, trying to figure out where in the world it fits. So look for find a focal point that's easy for you to find, put a black dot, and then that way you can easily line it up. Now I like to use a little bit of washi tape to hold mine in place. When I cut out the sunflower, I put an extra piece of white behind it because I want my sunflower to be 3 deep. I don't want to use dimensionals, but I do want some dimension and some height. So I'm going to use 1 stamped sunflower and 2 just plain white pieces cut out, because you can easily cut through 2 pieces at a time on the die cut machine. Okay, so now let me show you a little tip about coloring. I got a little carried away and colored more than I was going to. I started the tip and pulled down. I'm using Daffodil Delight. I just find that I don't go out of the lines that way if I go to the tip and pull down rather than doing kind of going sideways like that. And then I highlighted with Mango Melody. Mango Melody has a little bit of orange in it, and it just makes such great highlights for this stamp. Then I'm going to use the bronze Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to color the center in. And this, you don't have to be very particular with how you color it. It's just going to look great. Then I'm going to go back over it and add Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is a glitter glue. It is just amazing. So you just squeeze gently, and the Wink of Stella is going to come out, and it just looks spectacular. And as you go around, if you lose your place and end up going around more than once, that's okay too, because I don't know if you can get too much Wink of Stella. I have a friend who loves Wink of Stella. She's always checking me out, making sure I get Wink of Stella on anything and everything. So she would love it if I went around 2 or 3 times probably. Okay, you know who you are. Okay, all right, so here we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to my layers that are going to provide the dimension. Thank heavens this dries quickly. I probably could have done that at the end, but I wasn't thinking about that. Okay, so I'm going to take the first one, and I'm just going to look for that same, let's see, hello, here it is. Okay, I'm looking for the same little petal that kind of sticks up and out, and that's my landmark for easily being able to put these together. So let's look again. Okay, where are you? There you are. Okay, it just kind of saves your sanity. Okay, there you go. So now we have 3 layers, and it's a little bit more like a cardstock flower. Just really, really nice. So now I'm going to add this to the card. Oops. Okay, let me show you one little point with this leaf, after you've colored it with the light green old olive, if that's what you, oops, that's light. I'm going to take the dark and I'm just going to highlight exactly. Hello. Okay, you're sticking to me there. Okay, I'm just going to highlight exactly the places that the artist has added the black because it's showing you what's going to be pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and add, okay, these love to stick to me. I'm going to add the adhesive to all three of these so that we'll be ready to put it together. Okay, now I think I'm going to add it at this angle. I'm just going to lightly do this so that I can play around with my leaves until I'm happy. So we'll put 2 up in the right hand corner and we'll put 1 down here. And not sure I'm exactly happy. Okay, I'm not sure. I think that's okay. All right, so then I'll just go ahead and press it down. So now you can tell this card definitely needs some pops. And so we're going to add a bow, and then I'm going to add some little gold pieces to it. So let's do the bow first. Have you ever used the bow maker to make a bow? Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell the bow maker, but you can just go online and find one. They're really easy to use, and it's quick. So this time I'm going to make a double bow. So here's what you would do. You start behind like this, and then you go around like a figure 8, and because this is double, I'm going around that second time. And then you just overlap the strings, pull the tail back, up and over, and then I'll turn it around so I can just tie it in a knot. Whoops, don't do that. Okay, let me tie it in a knot. Come on. Okay, here we go. All right, then I'm going to just trim like that, pull it off, and voila, we've got a really cute little bow. So I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm going to just kind of put it down in the left-hand part. I'm going to add that. Okay, that's getting cuter, right? And so the last thing I'm going to do, now these were cut out with dies right out of the Sunflower set, if you can see them. And they're just beautiful. So I used the gold foil paper to cut them out. And I'm not going to take the time for you to watch me fool with these. So let me just go back to my original. But you can see what I did. I mean, I had to pull off the tops of them, and I put 5 in there. So this card is just going to be so much fun to send. I can hardly wait. If you're watching this on my blog, there's no place to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So you can go to Sandy Hancock and just look up Embossed Cardstock Technique. And then if you want to subscribe, just push the subscribe button below, and then you'll get quick notification of all of my new videos as they come out. All of the details for this will be on my blog today, sandystamper.com. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.